Elon Musk is in the process of buying Twitter. That hasn't been fully approved yet. We don't know 100% if that's happening, but there was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth over this, and a little bit of hypocrisy, I think. Um, One of the more interesting comments was from Tom Tanuki. Surprisingly, um, he said that there's a possibility that maybe all the pedophiles will come back, because Elon claims to be a free speech absolutist. He's not really. He's a bit thin-skinned, Elon. I don't know about this guy. I mean, I'm anti-billionaire, but there's some interesting things he does. I don't want to beat up him up too much. Maybe he's one of the less evil ones, slightly. Um, but it's interesting. He framed Elon as a type of free speech absolutist, similar to Jim Watkins, who is the QAnon guy. 98% certain it's a QAnon guy. So that was an interesting analogy. I didn't expect that. A lot of hysteria, but the problem is, you know, the social justice, Tom Tanuki's Antifa, but the social justice liberals, the social justice warriors, a main, a large group complaining about this, that might be unsafe for them. A lot of these people actually share stuff on Tumblr. Tumblr is well known as like a haven for social justice warriors and general progressives and other ones, transgenderism, um, and Tumblr had a very big problem with pedophiles. They're supposed to have strong moderation settings that cut this out, but it turns out a lot of pedophiles were on Tumblr posting sort of material to Tumblr, which the social justice warriors were happy to share a platform with that. They didn't go visit their pages, I guess, but they're on the same website and it's the same thing. So that's just amazing to me. I don't get that. I mean, if it applies to Twitter, it applies to Tumblr. If Tumblr was allowing lots of pedophiles to post stuff and talk about stuff, the MAPS, minor attracted persons who don't act on their urges, were a big faction there. So it's one and the same thing, isn't it? I mean, Elon hasn't done anything yet. He doesn't own it. We are yet to know what will happen. But I mean, you're sharing a platform with pedophiles, and just it didn't bother the liberals, the social justice warrior faction of the liberals. So I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Why are they melting down? And I just think, and also Bing, Bill Gates' project had a bad reputation along with Yandex for allowing all these posts from Tumblr and other places, blogs, a lot of these images to leak out into the mainstream. If you sort of posted a string of numbers or letters or anything, oftentimes it would come up with this sort of stuff, and Yandex and Bill Gates Bing, run by Microsoft, um, didn't do much about this. They let this go on for years and years. The Tumblr for 6 or 7 years, probably for allowed that to go on, and years for Bill Gates, allowed this to go on at Bing under Microsoft, and he's I'm just amazed that there was no outrage about that. It was a little odds and ends and bits and pieces, the occasional tweet, but they were allowed. Bill Gates and Tumblr were allowed to peddle child material, child abuse material, for years and years and years and years. And there wasn't hardly a fuss about it, and everyone's losing their mind over Elon Musk. We don't even know what he's going to do yet. It might be an edit button. He might be able to do that. There might be a couple of changes, but there's no indication that neo-Nazis or pedophiles are going to post freely there. There's no indication of that. There's no real evidence. So it's just ridiculous to be so cavalier about the kiddie porn on the Bing and also on Tumblr, and now just melting down over Elon Musk. It doesn't make any sense. It's just they're putting on a tantrum, and it's just ridiculous. So we don't know what's happening there, but I do think these people have no real justification for going on like this. It's a completely massive, it's a massive overreaction on their part so far, and it's not really very good to watch. It's very poor.